Hey guys, what's up? Matt here with another video for you today, and this one is super interesting. It's a technique that, I don't know if I developed it or if I absorbed it from somewhere, but I call it my Inception selling technique. And it's how to sell people extremely easily who are coaches, consultants, or salespeople, or like entrepreneurs. So stay tuned, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, make sure you comment down below if you like the video, but stay tuned because this is gonna be a good one. Inception selling. So what do I mean by that? I mean like meta selling. So selling within selling.
I specialize in a very specific type of security. Subconscious security.
You're talking about dreams.
First of all, what do I mean by a coach? A coach is anyone who teaches or coaches someone how to fix a problem, how to do something, like a fitness professional, a business coach. And then sales reps. So anyone who's selling a product or service, whether it's their own or whether like a dedicated sales rep. So it could be an entrepreneur, anyone sort of on the phones selling people. So that's what I mean. And that's a lot of people. It's a very broad swath of people. Everyone knows that salespeople can be somewhat easy to sell, but they can also be very difficult to sell. So the way that I do it, the way that I've broken it down is different to how I would sell most people. And I've had to really develop this over the last couple of weeks because I've just recently started selling for an account from a guy named Jeremy Miner, who you can see here, Jeremy. And he's one of the world's best sales trainers, if not the best sales trainer in the world. I've come on as his director of sales, which is amazing. It's great. I love it. It's always amazing when your mentor kind of reaches out to you for something. And I'll have like the link to his Facebook group down here somewhere. He taught me how to sell. And so a lot of the people who are doing these, who want to come and work with him, have done some of his stuff. So they have the scripts that I'm using to sell to them. So I'm having to use other more like meta techniques in order to not have to break the fourth wall too much and have them really know that they're in a sales process. So I have to really be extraordinarily subtle with how I sell things, but then also be super overt with how I sell, because it has to sort of surprise them, I guess is a really weird way of saying it. And so what I've been developing, and what I have been developing over a while, is my Inception selling technique. There's a 3-step process that I use, and there's a couple of established knowns that we have to do in order to make this work. And by an established known, I'm essentially talking about a framework, right? So you have your framework up here, and then everything kind of hangs off that for the rest of the sale. And so then if anything happens, you can go back up and it's all attached to like a set known, okay? I just got the name from the movie, you know, where it's like a dream inside a dream, a cell within, it's a cell within a cell.
It's not strictly speaking legal.
So the first thing that we have to do is establish a fact that the congruency of actions and speech is very important for salespeople, coaches, and entrepreneurs. You get the objection that you give, and that is a true statement. And so if you're someone who constantly needs time to think about it, and then you're going to get think about it objections, and how can you regularly and consistently overcome a think about it objection when you've bought into the narrative and agreed that, okay, you need time to think about this. If you need to check your finances, if you need to do this, then it's very difficult to overcome that, which is going to significantly affect your income as a salesperson, entrepreneur, or coach. This makes logical sense to people, and so that's sort of step one, is getting them to buy in on the established known that they are losing out on money, or there is the option of not being able to overcome objections because somebody might have that objection within them. That's really step one. So we can do that conversationally. We don't want to make it as part of our objection handling. We need to establish the frame early in the piece. And there's a couple of different ways that we can do that, but there's not enough time. I will go over it in a podcast in depth. So, you know, look out for that one, okay? It'll be called Inception selling. Okay, so step one, establish the known, okay? Step two is then start off by asking how often they've heard that objection. So this would be sort of once you've pitched and they're maybe giving you some objections, or you could do that before that stage if you do it really well conversationally. So if someone gives you an objection like, okay, this sounds really good, money's just really tight at the moment, I just need to go and check my finances. We go, okay. So can I start off by asking you, in the last, say, 6 months, how many times have you heard that objection? Like, oh man, I've heard it 20 times. Go, okay, so if you were able to overcome 50% of those objections, like how many more sales would you have made in the last 3-6 months? Okay, that makes sense. And how much commission do you get per sale? Okay, cool. So if you were able to overcome those objections, you would have made X amount more money? Okay, would you like me to teach you how to overcome that objection now? Well, yes, of course. So what we've done there, if we've set them up, they want to be overcome. Which brings in step 3, which is like the meta objection, which is where you role play their objection. You teach them by role playing with their own objection. Okay, it's a little bit confusing, and I realize that, but you can watch this video again, so it's fine. So what have we done so far? We've established that there is a known truth that people struggle to overcome the objections that they give. The next thing is that we've gotten an objection from them. We've asked them how often they get it and how much more money they would have if they could overcome even a percentage of that, and then if they would like to learn how to overcome it today, of which they're always going to say yes. Now, what that's done is it means that they're automatically going to realize that by them giving that objection that they're going to struggle to overcome it, and then by us teaching them to overcome it, then they would have learned a skill which would have made them more money because they would have been able to overcome it. But in the process to learn that, they have to be overcome themselves, because how can they learn to overcome it if they're not overcome themselves? Okay? I know it's weird. Step 3, the meta objections. This is where I break down step by step my thought process in front of them. So I knock on the fourth wall, and I want to explain my process to them while I'm doing it to them. So I would say to them, okay, well, you've given me a price objection, which is a check finances, which is a combination of price and think about it. So what I need to do first is chunk that down, and I need to figure out what the real objection is here. So what I'm going to do now is ask you a couple of questions to figure that out. Okay? And they go, oh, okay. And then I ask them a couple of questions, and I figure out which objection it is. And again, I'll go into more detail in a podcast, but I can't have a 40-minute long video. Once I decide which objection it is, then I'm going to go through my objection handling, which is like, let's just say it's a money objection. Go, okay, so if you had the funding available, would this be the answer for you? Well, yes, it would. Okay, would you mind telling me why? Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, so what are the ways that we think that we can come up with the funding in order to ensure that you can learn these skills to overcome these objections and have a sales process in place to where you can make the money that you want to make in your business? Okay, that makes sense. And have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? And then we can take them through a pretty standard money objection. But at the end of it, they want to be overcome. So we just overcome their objection. And then by doing that, we've taught them how to overcome an objection. And we've overcame the objection. And we've gotten the sale. That is my Inception selling technique. It's a sale within a sale. It's very fun to do. I really enjoy it. I really like selling salespeople, coaches, consultants, because there really does have to be congruency within their actions. And this isn't tricking people. This isn't doing anything like that. This is just selling a good quality program to people who need it and people who want it, but sometimes they just struggle to get out of their own way. And if we can get them to start doing the right things and get them to start learning these techniques and these strategies and how to overcome people, then, there'll be a lot less overweight people, because people will teach people who are how to overweight, how to overcome their own objections, and how to, live better, more fulfilling lives, or hopefully learn how to sell more, make more money. So, that's what good ethical sales is all about. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Those are my 3 steps to selling within a sale: meta, Inception, all that kind of stuff. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the comments down below. Let me know if you understood what the fuck I was talking about. If you didn't, just watch it again. I'm sure you'll get it. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.